The thing that kept me in the church the longest was the fear that if I left, I was going to be screwing up my kids. The church intentionally gets you to think that so that you will stay in. Because once you have kids, of course, like any parent's going to want the absolute best. And you're sitting there telling me that the only way to give my child the best is to teach them this true gospel, to teach them that Jesus Christ, the one that Joseph Smith portrayed, is the only Jesus Christ, and that this church is the true one because we have all the keys and ordinances. So even though you might leave the church, you might still have that fear of what am I supposed to teach my kids? Because without the church, I don't know what to teach my kids. I want them to still have good values, and I think that being in a church is instilling that. Once I realized that actually no, I can be a really good parent without the church. In fact, actually, it made my relationship better with my kids because I wasn't afraid anymore that maybe they were gonna screw up somehow. I think all Mormon parents really desperately just don't want their child to do anything that's against the church. So that means being a teenager. That means being a kid. That's how kids learn. They have to explore things on their own. And when we're trying to confine them and make them believe a certain way, and that if they don't believe that certain way, they're really disappointing a God, I can't imagine putting that on my teenagers, that I'm disappointed in the things that they do when they're actually fantastic kids. They get good grades. They have fun. They're kids. They're not out doing crazy shit. They're good kids, and I don't need God to help me raise my kids. I've been doing it on my own for a while now, and I'm rocking it. So that's my experience as to why I did stay in the church so long, was the just feeling of like what if I am messing this up? No. No. It's so much better raising kids without having a religion behind it dictating what you can and can't say to your kid, making you feel like you have to enforce a rule that maybe in your gut you just feel like that's just natural, but I have to enforce this because that's what God wants me to enforce, and I have to be a good parent at all times. Because in the Mormon church, it is definitely, I remember hearing this, that if you did not teach your child the right way according to the church, you were going to be accountable for the things that they did. Wow, talk about fear-mongering. I'm responsible for what my child does? So if I taught my child within the LDS church and they still went out and had sex before marriage, then that's somehow on me? It's only if I'm teaching the church, right? Then it's not on me. Then I did everything I could. Yeah. I thought that like there's an article of faith that says like we aren't responsible for other people's like transgressions. We're only responsible for like our own. Yeah. The church just has wonky shit everywhere it goes.